Today we're going to make a simple but beautiful quartz nugget bracelet. We'll start by laying out our supplies.
A couple of crimp beads. This one we will make without crimp covers so that you can see that process. Hopefully you can see that process a little bit better. And then here's the lobster clasp. Make sure it opens and closes. A jump ring, a nice big jump ring that'll be easy to get hold of with the lobster clasp. I'm going to put this little one away. I recently acquired some nice quartz nuggets, so let's make those up. Some nice quartz crystal tumbled nuggets. And so now we're going to, looky there. Okay. I'm going to use about 6 inches of this. I think I'm going to separate these with some little clear beads. These are some pretty little beads that I get, and they're on these temporary strands, and they've been all jumbled up in a little plastic bag. We'll try not to make too big of a mess with them. This is some beading wire that is pearl colored, 0.014 inch. There we go. So I'm going to pull out about a little bit more than a foot of it and cut it off right there. A light colored line is a nice thing when you've got clear beads. Okay, so we'll pick up that crimp bead and a buffer bead. I'm going to hang on to this line so that crimp bead doesn't come sliding off the other end. There we go. Okay. And then we'll go through the hole in our clasp right there, and then back through the buffer bead and back through the crimp bead. And now we've got a tail of about 1.5 inches or 2 inches, and then we'll pull the working thread snug. And I'm going to hold on to both of those right there. I'm going to get hold of this crimp bead here and cinch it up and then crimp. And when I'm crimping this way, to make a flat crimp, I like to get it from both sides. Make sure you don't get your buffer bead. Okay, there's a nice flat crimp. Now this end was a little bit wrinkled, so we'll cut that wrinkle off. Wouldn't that be nice if you could just cut your wrinkles off? And so I'm going to have a little bead in between each one of these nuggets to kind of separate them a little bit so that they'll drape easier. Give them a little bit more graceful drape. When you're using beads that are more beads than what came on the strand, you can still string them this way off the strand, but it takes a little bit longer to come pick up these other beads. It's certainly easier to find the hole if you're going this way about it. Even if the bead is clear and you can see that it definitely has a hole, sometimes it's pretty tricky as to just exactly where that hole is. And then again, now we'll string these beads over the tail. It's a little bit fiddly, but not the end of the world. I had the opportunity recently to teach these basic jewelry making techniques in a senior community, and that was a lot of fun. And one of the residents said, "I thought this was supposed to be therapeutic." And somebody else said, well, yeah, but sometimes therapy takes a while. My friend Melissa, who is a physical therapist, said that they actually have some of their clients do jewelry making to help tune up their fine motor skills. Fine motor skills. We're working without a magnifying glass too, so yeah, I think that's going to work out just fine. So we'll carry on this way until we have, about probably 6 1/4 inches of beads strung, considering that the clasp is going to add about 1 1/4 inches. Yep, coming right along. If I remember correctly, I believe that the ancient Greeks thought crystal was petrified ice. Does kind of look that way, doesn't it? And one more crystal nugget then, and a little glass bead, and the crimp and buffer bead, ever so eager to jump on. Then we'll go through our jump ring. Okay, and then we'll come back. See, we've got our jump ring captured on the line, and we're going to bring our line around there and go back through our buffer bead and our crimp tube and a few of these beads for 1.5 inches or 2 inches. Okay, I think that's going to be about enough. And so now we can pull this up. There. Make sure I've got it. And then get in there with your flat nose or needle nose ever so carefully. Make sure you're not going to break one of these beads here. And squeeze. And again, when I'm making a flat crimp, I like to make sure I've squeezed it from both sides. Then you can give it the dreaded pull test. It's quite secure, as is that one. And then we'll find our cutters, come in here and trim that line. Get as close as you can, taking care not to cut the strand that you just threaded. And there's a nice little crystal nugget bracelet.
Just right. So that's our project for today. Give it a like if you enjoyed this video. What's your favorite gemstone? Let me know in the comments below, and let me know if you have any questions. Feel free to share this video and consider subscribing if you haven't already. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.